Hey. No. So right after the Rumble live stream that we did today, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern, every other day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I got slammed with a bunch of questions from one of my Patreons, Leroy. Leroy's a stand-up guy. He has some legitimate questions, and I think that they deserve to be answered. And instead of me typing out a 12 paragraph dossier on how things work, I thought it would be easier just to make it a little bit more personable and let everybody else learn from it too. So let's go ahead and look at his questions. I'm going to go and flash back and forth here and there, and you'll be able to see what the Q&A was all about. Leroy asks, question 1, LP was speaking about freeze-dried foods. How many of you are looking to have freeze-dried foods in your arsenal versus canned or stored dried foods, like beans and rice and such? And as part of this question, how much additional water should be considered for freeze-dried food if you do not have a constant water source? Or is the suggestion to augment other food stores methods with freeze-dried foods? Wow, complex question, Leroy, but not unanswerable. First things first, I have a mix of freeze-dried food, I have dehydrated food, I have canned food. I do not have a set percentage because at this point, most of my freeze-dried food I view as long-term. Basically level 3 type stuff where I'm not going to touch it unless I have to. The joke is that I have a year's worth of freeze-dried food under my bed, which is basically true. The stuff that we were talking about before is my Patriot Supply stuff. I was trying to show them a hack to get past the way that My Patriot Supply tries to funnel you. Yes, I'm an affiliate. Yes, I do make 32 cents every time you spend $100. But I'd never push it on anybody. Anyhow, so my mixture is varied. I would say, I don't know. I'd say I really do like the idea of buying canned goods. I don't have to can them. They last forever. I just have to take care of them. Wholesome goodness right there, buddy. Inexpensive. And $1.25 tree friendly. And then the second part of your question is, as part of the question, how much additional water should be considered when you talk about freeze-dried food? Because people... it's like you're supposed to do 1 gallon of water per day per person, which is really actually 2 if you want to live beyond, just survival. There are even people that say up to 5 gallons per person per day. But I mean, I would look at what you actually consume every day. I mean, most people don't even do that. Most people can't tell you what they drank yesterday or how much, the quantities, the volume. They can't tell you those things. So I would look at that and then think about how much water that you need to store for yourself and whomever. But the general rule is 1 gallon per day. Now, in reference to rehydrating freeze-dried food, in general, it only takes about 1 cup of water per package to rehydrate. It's really that easy. As far as storage, just look at the amount of servings that you have in freeze-dried food, and then do the math and just add it all up. It's actually pretty simple. If you have, whatever it is times 1 cup, and that's how much extra water you need to be able to offset or to rehydrate your freeze-dried food in an emergency situation. Under emergency, and if you have no water source, I would probably be more concerned with the fact that you have no water source than rehydrating freeze-dried food. And in fact, you may want to lean towards more foods that are not, if you know that you have no viable water source. But then you might want to start looking at being in a different place too. It's like one thing leads into the next. Let's see. The second question was LP spoke of food grade buckets. What are you storing openly in a bucket without any type of wrapping that would make food grade storage necessary? What am I missing here? Okay, so when we say food grade buckets, we're talking about a bucket that will not bleed chemicals into whatever is inside the bucket. Now, if you are storing, and I think I understand what you're talking about, because you don't really actually say like Mylar but not Mylar. So let's break it down into two very simple scenarios. First of all, if you're storing food that is not in a secondary or primary sealer, that basically Mylar, if you're not storing that food inside that first level of protection, basically you're pouring sugar into just a bucket and then throwing whatever inside of it that you think is going to work, like oxygen absorbers or whatever, and then capping it off, then you definitely need a food grade bucket. I believe it's I'll put something up on the screen here in a second. It's normally, I think it's 1, 2, 4, and 5. Generally speaking, most food grade buckets worth their weight are number 2 plastic. And I'm going to put the name of the chemical. I can't remember what it is right now, but I'll put it up on the screen. You want to make sure that it's made with this particular type of chemical, and that's what really food grade buckets are made of. Now, if you are storing your food in Mylar bags, but there's no need for a food grade bucket, okay? You're not going to get through that Mylar. You're literally just protecting it. You're literally just protecting the Mylar bags from the critters is what you're really doing. And then one of the reasons that you use the buckets is it not only protects them, but it also is a scent barrier. So if it's in a sealed bucket, then they have less chance of smelling what's inside of it, and then less chance of trying to dig through it. Now, and if any of you have had rodent problems in the past, you know that they will chew a hole through a solid wooden wall to get into your pantry if they really want to get it. But if they can't smell it, then they won't go in that direction. There was also conversation about storing in totes instead of buckets. Same exact philosophy. If you don't really have a rodent problem and you don't foresee one, then you can easily stow your either vacuum sealed or Mylar bags inside of totes, no problem whatsoever. It's really all about portability and what your particular situation is. So there's no right or wrong way to do it, but you should definitely look at all of the variables in your food storage plan. I hope that answered your questions, Leroy. As usual, guys, if you want to support the channel, you know how to do it. There's some links below. And stay safe and have a great day. Bye-bye. It's really easy. Just down there. Down there. Hello, Penny. Yeah, just down there. Bye.